You know what no one really talks about? Making friends as an adult is weird. It's like navigating a maze with constantly shifting walls, where the rules keep changing and there's no clear map to guide you. As a kid, easy, you liked dinosaurs. I liked dinosaurs. Boom. We were best friends. No backstory, no small talk. Just raw, prehistoric bonding. Those were the days when the playground was our kingdom, and a simple shared interest in action figures or coloring books was enough to forge a connection that felt unbreakable. We'd run around until our knees were scraped, share snacks without a second thought, and promise to be friends forever, believing every word with the pure, unwavering faith of childhood. Now, I meet someone and think, wow, they seem cool, and then immediately panic. Wait, am I allowed to just make a friend? It's as if there's an invisible rule book we're all supposed to know, but no one ever handed it out. Should I offer a LinkedIn connection first? Slide into their DMS with a calendar invite? The whole process feels so transactional, like I'm trying to seal a business deal instead of starting a meaningful relationship. I once spent 3 months trying to hang out with someone. We sent each other, "We should totally catch up," texts 5 times. 5. It's been 3 years. I think we're still catching up in theory. Each text exchange felt like a delicate dance, a constant push and pull of good intentions and busy schedules. We'd find ourselves saying things like next week for sure, only to have that week pass by with more excuses and rescheduling. It was as if we were trapped in a never ending loop of almost connecting. Our lives like two ships passing in the night, always just out of reach. Here's the thing, nobody told me that adulthood came with this side quest called drifting apart. No big fight, no betrayal, just a quiet fade. Like your favorite tea, shirt slowly turning into a rag for cleaning windows. It starts with missed calls that you tell yourself you'll return later, then turns into birthdays that pass without so much as a quick message. Before you know it, the person who used to be a constant in your life is now just a name in your phone, a memory that grows fuzzier with each passing day. Sometimes I scroll through my contacts and think, wow, I used to know this person's Starbucks order and their childhood trauma. Now I don't even know if they moved to another continent. There was a time when we'd spend hours on the phone, pouring out our hearts, sharing our deepest fears and wildest dreams. We were each other's confidants, our lives intertwined in the most beautiful way. But somewhere along the way, the current of life pulled us in different directions, and we slowly lost our grip on that connection. But it's not just them, it's me too. I've ignored texts for no reason, ghosted group chats like they owed me money, canceled plans because vibes weren't right, aka, I didn't want to put on pants. There's a certain guilt that comes with these actions, a nagging feeling that I'm letting down the people who care about me. But in the moment, the comfort of my couch and the allure of my own solitude seem so much more appealing. We all say we're busy, but somehow have time to watch 27 TikToks about raccoons learning to paint. It's a strange paradox of modern life. We fill our days with mindless distractions, using busyness as an excuse to avoid the vulnerability that comes with reaching out to others. We convince ourselves that we don't have the time or energy to nurture our friendships, when in reality, we're just afraid of what might happen if we do. So, yeah, maybe it's not time that's the problem. Maybe it's fear. Fear of being awkward, fear of not being remembered, fear of sending that, "Hey, how are you?" and getting nothing. These fears are like shadows that follow us everywhere, lurking in the back of our minds, holding us back from forming the connections we so desperately crave. We worry about saying the wrong thing, about coming across as too eager or too desperate. We're afraid of rejection, of being left feeling more alone than ever. But here's the plot twist. Last week, I actually messaged an old friend, just said, "Miss your face. Let's get tacos." No overthinking. No emojis. They replied in 5 minutes. "Yes, please, tomorrow?" It was a moment of pure spontaneity, a leap of faith into the unknown. For so long, I'd been hesitant to reach out, convinced that too much time had passed, that our friendship had faded beyond repair. But in that simple exchange, All those fears melted away. And guess what? We had tacos. The moment we sat down at that small hole in this wall taco joint, the familiar scent of sizzling meat and freshly baked tortillas filled the air. It was as if the aroma itself was a time machine, transporting us back to all those late night study sessions in college when we'd fuel up on cheap tacos and coffee, dreaming of the future. As we started stuffing our faces with delicious food, the first laugh escaped her lips, a sound so familiar yet so long forgotten. It was a laugh that had once filled my dorm room during our endless gossip sessions, a laugh that could turn any bad day around. Before I knew it, I was laughing too, and it was like the dam that had been holding back all our shared memories and emotions had burst open. We laughed about nothing in particular, but in that moment, everything was funny. The way the salsa was just a little too spicy, the goofy waiter who kept mixing up our orders, even the way we both still managed to get sauce on our shirts despite years of practice. The conversation flowed as easily as it ever had. We talked about old times like the crazy road trip we took during spring break, where we got lost in the middle of nowhere but still managed to have the time of our lives. We shared stories about our lives since we last saw each other, the new jobs that had both challenged and exhausted us, the heartbreaks and new loves that had come and gone. She told me about the time she'd accidentally set her kitchen on fire while trying to cook a fancy meal for a date, and I recounted the embarrassing moment when I'd given a presentation at work with my shirt tucked into my pants. And then there were the inside jokes, the ones that only we would understand, phrases and memories that had been born out of our shared experiences that to anyone else would seem like nonsense. Every time we mentioned one, we'd dissolve into another fit of laughter, our eyes watering and our stomachs aching. It was as if the years in between had never happened, and we were back to being the friends we used to be, the ones who could read each other's minds with just a look. As we sat there, I couldn't help but notice the little things. The way she still tucked her hair behind her ear when she got excited, the familiar glint in her eye when she was about to tell a particularly juicy story. It was these small, unchanging details that made me realize that the connection wasn't gone, just sleeping. Like a Tamagotchi we forgot to feed. We'd let the busyness of life, our own insecurities, and the distance between us put our friendship on pause. But the essence of it, the deep bond that had been formed all those years ago, was still there, waiting to be revived. It was a powerful reminder that friendships, like plants, need to be watered and nurtured. We can't expect them to thrive on their own, especially in the chaotic world of adulthood. Even when they seem dormant, even when weeks, months, or years pass without a word, there's still life there, waiting to be awakened. We just need to have the courage to reach out, to take that first step and show our friends that we still care. So here's my advice. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel less awkward. Send the text. Make the plan. Eat the tacos. Because friendship in adulthood isn't about how often you talk. It's about knowing the door's still open and having the guts to knock. It's about taking that first step, even when it's scary, even when you're not sure what the outcome will be. In the world of adulthood, we often feel like we're all alone in our struggles, that everyone else has it all together except us. But the truth is, we're all in this together. We all long for meaningful connections, for someone to share our joys and sorrows with. Lonely doesn't mean alone. Sometimes it just means waiting for someone to say, I missed you too. The next time you think about an old friend, don't hesitate. Reach out, take a chance, and you might just find that the friendship you thought was lost is still there, waiting for you to pick up right where you left off. You might be surprised at how quickly that spark can be reignited, how easy it is to fall back into the rhythm of a friendship that has been a part of your life for so long. Because at the end of the day, true friendship is a timeless bond, one that can withstand the test of time and distance, as long as we're willing to put in the effort to keep it alive.